Rockefeller has used this where his family can still 100 years later still be able to be one of the biggest givers on the planet while still doing XYZ. So I would build all the messaging literally around that, but I wouldn't reveal at the beginning what it is. My man Jeff, man, what is up, man? It's been a long time coming. Welcome officially to the Strategic Scale Show. I know we had a few schedule conflicts and all this different type of stuff. Man, you know what? We was just talking about your event. We actually been trying to do this episode since before your event. When was your event?
My event was back in April.
That's correct. Sorry,
back in November of last year.
We've literally been trying to get this thing done because I know it's gonna be a good one. So I'm looking forward to it. I think everything happens perfectly. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, you got the best. You got the best guest on so far. So 100%. I'm claiming it right now, and it's gonna be the best interview, the best strategy session, coaching session, however you want to call it, the listeners are going to get great value from.
Let's get it. So I'm aware of your business, and I know you mentioned that you're in the pivot space right now. So tell me about, what you do in the business, what you've been doing, and then also kind of the pivot that you may be looking at, if we want to talk about that now, or just more so just big picture. Anybody who's listening, I want them to be aware of who you are and what you do.
So I'm Jeff Moore. My clients and friends affectionately call me Jeff the Wealth Builder, and I help six-figure entrepreneurs and professionals become their own bank and acquire income-producing assets without losing control of their money. So that is the thing that I'm niching down on. I've been a financial advisor. I've been a strategist for the last 27 years. And I feel like I am niching down in this area of cash value life insurance and banking is because it is the most underutilized product in the Black and brown community. And I kind of want to shine a light on it because I think it is the best thing to have in your portfolio to help you build, develop, and grow money.
Nice. I love it. And how did you get to this point? So kind of walk us through big picture real quick. How did you get to this particular point and how did you become Jeff the Wealth Builder?
I became Jeff the Wealth Builder because I'm a financial strategist. I've helped countless professionals and entrepreneurs level their money game up, acquire assets, structure their life insurance that now they're not only millionaires on paper, but have created a system and a blueprint on how to build and pass on generational wealth. So I have a framework that I've developed over the course of the years of learning through education, learning through experience, learning through failure. And I'm writing a book right now, and it's called The No BS Guide to Building Indestructible Wealth. And it basically is the book that I wished I would have had before I lost a ton of money in 2008, that when the economic collapse happened there. So I wished I had a blueprint back then that I could have applied to kind of help me to shelter and not have me to lose any money during that most tremendous and tumultuous time that we went through in 2008 with the stock market collapse. So that has been a big thing that I wished I had. And I put all of this energy and I put all of this research and I put all of this time and putting this blueprint together so people not only don't have to experience what I experienced, but they will have a guide, they will have a blueprint that they can navigate through that not only will protect their wealth, not only will help them enjoy their wealth, but help them to pass on their wealth. What I've been finding is that many people will tell you how to make money, but not a lot of people will tell you how to keep it, how to protect it, how to grow it, how to leverage it, and then more importantly, pass it on to the next generation.
Makes sense. I love it. All right, cool. And so where's the business now, and where are you looking to get it to, let's say, over the next 12 months?
My heart is to build a community of cash value wealth builders where we can effectually impact and have a community of about 5,000 families over the next 10 years. That's what my heart is. And that's where the energy, and that's why I'm trying to align a vision to kind of help to push that out and propel this community, to have this community in place to have these systems and these money systems in place, because I know it can do generational things that will change the economic climate and the economic situation for these families for many of years. The blueprint, you hear a lot of stories of and how I envision this community is kind of like how Rockefeller built his family money system, is like I would like to call it. Some people call it the Rockefeller method, or the banking, the Rockefeller way. But I look at it as a blueprint of like really how to create generational wealth. Because Rockefeller, I won't talk about the business side of things because he did things a little unorthodox, I would call it. But from a money perspective, he instituted a money system for his family that 100 years after his death, his family is still operating on that system. And more importantly, the biggest impact that had on me is that from a foundational and a giving standpoint, he put a system in that his family can still be today, 100 years after he's dead, the biggest givers in the world. And that is, when you look at that kind of alignment, it's like having the best of both worlds, to be able to have money now and to be able to have money to give. And for me, and for where I'm in the stage and the development and where I'm looking in my life, like that's the things that I would like to be a part of, to be able to have people to have money now. And then more importantly, that they can have money to give and support the things that they're passionate about.
Got it. What's the revenue target now? What's the revenue target over the next 12 months?
For me personally?
Yeah. In the business.
For the business wise, revenue goal is $1 million.
Okay, perfect. And then where are you now in relation to it?
I'm a little under a quarter way there.
A little over a quarter way. Okay, perfect.
Little under.
Okay, good. You're probably like, whoa, Marquel, slow down. If you're enjoying the show so far, you may be wondering, how do you actually become a guest? Now, this isn't a platform where anybody can just get on. You gotta be in a specific area of your business where we can really do a solid deep dive. If you wanna be a guest on an upcoming episode, all you gotta do is go to strategicscaleguest.com. strategicscaleguest.com. There is an application process, so go over there, answer a couple simple questions, watch the quick video that I have there, answer a couple simple questions, and if you meet the criteria, our team will reach out to you and we'll get it scheduled and we can figure out if you're going to come to our office where we do a deep dive or we come to your office. So go ahead, strategicscaleguest.com. Let's get back into the show. What would you say is the biggest scale constraint that if you walk away from this conversation with this will help propel you to that $1 million mark?
I think right now, in the biggest thing right now, since I'm doing a pivot right now, where I'm really targeting and focusing really on niching down to the demographic that I would like to deal with, which is 38 to 60 professionals that make six figures, and they are first generation wealth builders. That means they're the first ones in the family to make the kind of money and to helping them to understand the pressures of being the first in the family. So as I'm making that pivot right now, I think the biggest constraint for me is making sure I am utilizing the right messaging so I can attract the right people.
Got it. Okay, cool. So when it comes to the right messaging, do you already got any like webinars or sales pages or websites or any assets that we can look at to audit the messaging, or are you just kind of?
Yes, right now I just started doing a masterclass on Tuesdays. Okay. My next one is going to be this Tuesday is master.com.
All right, let me pull that up.
If you want to take a look at it and take a look at the messaging that's on that page. I'm really right now focusing on the outcomes, because people really only care about what's in it for them. That's one of the things that I've been having the most time trying to the biggest areas that I'm having right now is my heart is to teach, and sometimes I teach too much. And I've been told that people are not going to pay for my content because they'll go look and learn from the free content that I put out. So I've been trying to navigate all of the messaging in with that, so I could be the most effective in doing what I'm doing.
All right, cool.
Have you seen? You got to the website yet?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up right now. Let me show you. All right, excellent. So free cash value, right? Are you running ads to this, or is it just organic?
I am.
Oh, so what? So you got ads live right now?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. That's even better. Hold on one second. Let me pull those up too. Let's jump over here to the ads. So let's go to Facebook. What's the page you're running ads from?
Cash Value Wealth Builders.
Cash value.
I couldn't do my personal page. My personal page got hacked, and Facebook or Instagram will not allow me to run ads on my personal pages anymore.
It's all good. It's all good.
So if you know anybody that can fix that, I would love to talk to them.
Cool. Yeah, we can definitely let's talk about it.
So it's kind of like I'm starting all over in that area because I had to put together a new page, which is Cash Value Wealth Builders, and I had to run everything through that.
So what's the so I put in Cash Value Wealth Builders. I don't feel like I'm typing in the right thing though, because the only thing that's coming up is a group.
It's on Facebook and Instagram.
So this,
if you're looking for the exact pages.
So that's the group. Let me go to the pages. Is this the page?
I can't see it.
You can't see my screen?
No.
Oh, my bad. All right, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
All right, cool. Is this the page?
That's the first book page. Yep.
All right. All right, let's jump over here to About. So this page isn't running any ads.
No, that is check the other one. Wait a minute, that's not the. That should be the page.
So let's go. Let's see if I can find it from your personal page.
That's my page. That's my personal page, but it's not running any. It's not running any ads on that page.
Yeah, it's not running any ads.
Like I'm prohibited from running ads on my own personal page, which kind of sucks.
So your business page that you're running ads from is what? Is it the More Financial Solutions or no?
No, it's from Cash Value Wealth Builders.
Interesting. Yeah, that page ain't even coming up. Cash Value.
It's 2 words.
Cash Value Wealth Builders. Yeah, it ain't coming up. The only thing that's coming up is your group is coming up.
There it is.
That's your group, though.
Yep, that's the ad that's running right now.
This is an ad?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Cash Value Wealth Builder. All right, got it. So now we found the page. So let's jump over here. All right. There we go. Let's go About. Now let's go take a peek. Okay. Who running your ads? You running them?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, let's take a peek. All right, so let's see. While everyone's panicking about the market, I'm building wealth quietly with zero stress because I don't chase the market. I own my own system. Learn how to bank like the wealthy, using a strategy that's safe, liquid, and growing daily, even in a downturn. The free masterclass breaks it all down. What is your average lead cost right now?
Those the last I checked was last night. It was the cost. What was the cost per click?
Now what's the cost? What's the cost per registrant to get somebody to register?
I could check real quick. I didn't look this morning.
Okay.
Because the ads just started running.
All right. So you just turned the ads on.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And you've done this webinar how many times?
Just once.
Okay, so this is your first time doing it.
I just started.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so let's jump back over to the page for a second. Make sure you can see it. All right, I'm back on your page. All right, so every 20 seconds coming up, bank like the wealthy, without Wall Street, high fees or permission. Discover the top 1% used to create wealth fund investments, and pass on a legacy, all without asking the bank for a dime.
Ever wonder how the wealthy become richer even during a recession? It's because they don't use the banks like we do. They become their own bank so they can get guaranteed interest and dividends. They can borrow money tax-free, and they can use that.
Is this the video you running as an ad?
That is one of the videos and then the flyer. Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a flyer and a video.
Cool. So so the first thing I would do on this site is I would remove this video.
Take the video off?
Yep. Here's why. Because when they come here, for them to register, they got to scroll all the way down here.
Okay.
So I will remove this video and have the button up here closer. Because again, if they saw the ad already, they already saw this video anyway. So there's no need to watch it again.
Okay.
So I removed this and then moved this timer and button up so it's here. Then also I would, let's see. Does your target audience already know what cash flow banking is or cash value banking is? For your ideal client?
I would say ideal, maybe yes and no. For the people that follow me, they would know what it is, or if they saw any experience with any of my content. But if you haven't, you probably would not. So maybe I should define what cash value banking is.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even define it until they join the masterclass. So on here, I would say I would make it. Let me see, Cameron. Let's see. Discover the system the top 1% use to create wealth, fund investments, and pass on a legacy. So, and you said your ideal client is somebody who makes six figures, right?
Yep.
In like personal take home?
Yes.
Cool. So I would play around with messaging like, hey, discover the system. So at the very top, I would have, if you make six figures, if you make 100,000, is it, so when you say six figures, is it 100,000 or is it 250?
100,000.
Perfect. So for example, say, hey, like a subhead, like you got up here where it says Cash Value Banking Masterclass, I would have, six figure, if you make six figures per year, take home, boom, 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 discover the cash value banking, discover the CVB method, because that's cash value banking. Discover the CVB method to help you turn your six-figure income into passive, we can flesh it out. So turn your six-figure income into blah blah blah. We can come up with like what exactly they want, but how do you turn your six-figure income into a blah 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 so that it does XYZ, right? So we want to speak to that, because what you want to do is, you don't want them to see it and be like, oh, he talking about infinite banking, or oh, he talking about such and such, or oh, he talking about whole life insurance, or he talking about, because they just seen other people online talking about it, so they already got a negative connotation when it comes to it.
Okay.
Does it make sense? So you want to position this ideally as this new method, right? Which it is. It's your new method. So you want to position it in that way. So they're like, oh, what's this new thing Jeff is talking about? And then when they come on the masterclass, it's so, because all that, everything you talked about at the very beginning before we started, and you was like, how Rockefeller has used this to Rockefeller has used this where his family can still 100 years later still be able to be one of the biggest givers on the planet while still doing XYZ. So I would build all the messaging literally around that. But I wouldn't reveal at the beginning, like on your page, I wouldn't reveal on this page like what it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. I struggle with that.
I get it. Let's understand how.
I mean, to keep it 100, because I didn't like the way that I felt when I read something and I thought it was one thing, and then when I got to the thing, I was like, "Oh man, this crypto. Oh man, I didn't want to come here for a crypto thing."
Yeah.
I mean, not. I'm just not to single out crypto. I'm just using that as an example.
100%.
So that's why I like kind of like direct marketing, but I understand what you're saying. So
it can still be direct. I wouldn't have it positioned. And again, it depends on who your ideal client is. Because if your ideal client has no idea about how to leverage insurance as a wealth building vehicle, then you can still tie that in and how do you present it? However, if your ideal client is somebody who's already inundated with online marketing messages about infinite banking or about XYZ, blah, 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 then there's that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like your unique mechanism is your CVB, your cash flow wealth building.
Cash value banking.
That's what it is. Cash value banking system, right? Hey, what's up? Real quick, if you're watching this episode, which you clearly are, and you're like, okay, this is amazing. If you're a business owner right now watching this and you're making $30K to $100K per month at least, or you're making $1 million or $5 million and you're looking to get to 10, 15, 20 million and beyond, and you're like, how do I strategically scale my business without burning out and without sacrificing the thing that matters, all the things that matters, I actually put together a special bonus gift for podcast listeners only. So if you go to strategicscalegift.com, that's strategicscalegift.com. We're going to hook you up with some tools, some strategies, some systems that you can apply into your business immediately to help you strategically scale your business without burning out so you can impact more people and scale to the $1 million business, to the $1 million mark and beyond. Go get that right now, strategicscalegift.com, and let's get back to the show. So for example, it's like discover the CVB method I'm using to have my wealth continue to grow by X percent, if you want to put a number, by X percent per month or X percent blah, 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 while the rest of the market is tanking and is down and people are losing and people have lost X amount of their portfolios over the last 90 days. So you can really make it like super relevant to right now. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm writing that down.
So for example, because would you consider the cash value banking system, would you call it zero risk or minimal risk, or what would you be confident saying?
The only risk that you have if you don't pay your premiums, that's the only risk you have. There's no other risk. It is like one of the coolest and one of the best ways to get, not to talk about the product or anything. It's the coolest and the best way to make guaranteed money every single year without you doing anything.
I mean, that's the messaging, right? So it's like, if you make 6 figures a year, take home every year, discover the zero risk investment strategy I've used for the last how many years?
Since 2008, because that's when I really discovered it.
I've used for the last 17 years to continue to grow my wealth by X percent, or grow my net worth by X percent, even while the stock market is down by X percent and people are losing their portfolios and life savings. You get where I'm going with this?
The cool thing is too is like in one of the strategies that we use, like when you have bad economic times like this is when cash value banking shine, because you could go and buy all these depressed assets on sale and like really start to earn money in two places at the same time. But I digress. Go ahead.
100%. So now you go into that, right? So you like on here, you're like, here's what you'll learn. The number one strategy to use right now to be in position to grow your wealth while a lot of people are scrambling, or to actually grow your to do XYZ while other individuals are scrambling and stressed out because every time they log into their stock portfolios is red, right? Another thing you'll learn is why me and a select few of the top 1% wealth builders in the country aren't stressing about tariffs, the stock market, who's in office, blah, 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 because in times like these, when it's a down economy, quote unquote down economy, our wealth portfolios continue to grow, no matter what. Another thing you'll learn is, the only guaranteed method that's proven to grow, the only guaranteed method to make sure you preserve and protect your wealth so you can safely pass it off to your heirs, and then I'll put like in quotes, this strategy has been used by the elite for the last, 300 years, 200 years?
About 157.
For the last 157 years. Right? So we're still talking about it, but it's like, come
without
on,
naming
so
it.
I can show you the method. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, hey, it's important that you're at least making 6 figures a year take home because you need boom, 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 boom. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So here's another thing. Another bullet. Are you a person that has a heart to give? You want to contribute to charities, sow more into your church, and the list goes on. This single strategy is what helps fuel the philanthropy for the number one giver in the world. And his family has been the number one giver for the last 100 years. I'll reveal who he is and his exact strategy step by step during this free masterclass. Are you following me?
I'll write all this down. Woo.
Yep. So
Yes, indeed.
That's how we hit it. How to set up and manage your personal bank. Boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Sick of. What else you'll learn? Sick of getting point blah blah blah, 0.001% on your money, and want to ensure you get at minimum XYZ return on your money without risky investments. I'll show you how on this masterclass. But like just being like literally speaking to these individuals who make 6 figures a year take home. And just doubling down on that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the one thing that I've been since this internet world has evolved. The one thing that has been the most challenging is like just getting the messaging together.
Yep.
Because most people who are making over 6 figures, and most people who have the money to fund these things and should be funding them, they have their own different perceptions of you know, when they hear about these kinds of things, any things that had to do with life insurance, especially most Black and brown folks, you know, they tend to run or scatter because they think it something that is not what it really is. Like a lot of people think that life insurance is for when you die, but there's nothing in the word life insurance that says anything about death.
Yep.
So I think that's when the most challenging thing is just getting that messaging together so people can see it as not only as a living benefit, but also as a wealth building benefit as well, because some of the top people in the world have used it to build wealth. You know, one of the biggest organizations, you know, around that we talk about every day, that we save money and take our kids to every year, you know, started from, you know, life insurance contract. You know what I mean? Like it would be no Disney World without Disney and life insurance, you know? Yeah. So, but, you know, these concepts are just they're not new. A lot of times they're just new to us.
Yep.
So it's about making sure that we get for me, it's making sure that I get the right messaging down to have that happen.
That's another bullet. That's another benefit. The number one strategy Walt Disney used to build a $267 billion empire, and how you have access to the same strategies without leveraging it, without going to the bank to ask for a loan, without without
You gotta send me this recording, boy. I'm telling you, you better make sure you get this to me quick too.
I got you.
You dropping so many nugget bombs and gems on me. My notebook writing is like, you see all this writing is like bam, 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 bam.
I got
make sure I capture it all.
I got you 100%. Yeah. So bro, that's what I would do, and I would literally. So now when it goes to the ads, right? So now when it goes to the ads, we pull all that into the ads.
So are you suggesting that I take that video that I have down right now, because it's just like, and you're kind of like talks about what it is without.
Let's see.
Become richer even. Ever wonder how the wealthy become richer even during a recession? It's because they don't use the bank.
So I would lean in on like So let's just say, for example, if you leaned in with something like, hey, I don't got to tell you that the stock market is in shambles right now. This new administration, a lot of people there's a lot of uncertainty. Individuals have lost XYZ percentage of their portfolios. And yeah, some big corporations have lost like Tesla and XYZ, they've lost XYZ, but they can afford to, right? But you as a person, and I would lead in with like, hey, are you somebody who's making at least 6 figures a year take home, and you want a zero risk strategy to grow your wealth? Like, as you already know, the stock market is down. It's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen. We got tariffs happening, all these different things. So it's a lot of uncertainty. Individuals have literally lost the majority, if not all, of their investment portfolios for something they have absolutely no control. And yeah, you got some of the big guys like Elon and all that who've lost X% of their portfolios, but they can actually afford to. But you, as somebody who's an everyday American, you working hard for your money, whether in business or in corporate, you want to protect your wealth so you can preserve it and hand it over to people. Well, I'm Jeff Moore, and for the past 17 years, I've been leveraging a simple strategy that's 100% zero risk that continues to grow every single year over and over again without me doing anything, without me being an investment expert, without me having to pay management fees, without me having to go to the bank for loans, and it's going to continue over and over and over again. And it's also the same strategy Walt Disney used to build a $267 billion empire. He uses one strategy to launch Disney, and also it's the same strategy the number one giver in the world has leveraged to continue to be the number one giver in the world. So if you have a heart for giving, you want to impact more people, and you want to protect your wealth for legacies to come, you want to get registered for an upcoming free masterclass where I'm going to share with this 100% free. And you may be wondering, why am I going to do this for free? Well, simple. individuals are just miseducated on what it really takes to build wealth. You don't need to do Forex. You don't need to do, this. You don't need to do this. You don't need, it was crypto. I would just kind of run down all the things. You can do one simple thing and allow this to continue to grow over and over and over again. And then when and if you decide to retire, you can retire 100% tax-free. And I'm going to show you the exact process step by step by step on this masterclass. And the beautiful thing is, are you selling? I'm sure you're selling something. And the beautiful thing at the end of it, I'm going to give you an opportunity to actually have me and my team actually help you implement it. But the cool thing is, regardless if you have me and my team implement it or not, you'll actually be able to take these strategies and go to implement them right away as well. So click on the link, go get registered, and I'll see you there.
Audible. Okay.
So that's literally would be the video ad. And then the copy, the text part, like you got up here, like this part, would literally be the same thing. Right. So, for example, the line may start with, I would pull like a stat of like the state of the market right now and how investments are down and blah 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 blah. So I would start with something like that, jarring. Forbes said, or Wall Street Journal said, or XYZ said the stock market is down XYZ over the last XYZ, and they're not really sure what's going to happen, especially with every single day something new is happening, in the White House or whatever, right? When the decisions are making that Americans have no control over. Meanwhile, their investments and their wealth is being eaten up. I want to fix that, blah, 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 blah. And then we go into, that's why I'm doing this free masterclass, to share with you a simple zero-risk strategy that I've used over the past 17 years to continue to grow my wealth year over year over year without being an investment expert, without having to pay management fees, without having to do. And if I do decide to retire, I'll retire 100% tax-free, and I'll be able to simply and safely hand over my legacy to my heirs. And I want you to have that.
Should I mention anything about using it to buy assets? Because one of the things that we teach in our community is to use it to buy assets that produce passive income. So should I leave that out and like maybe keep that in for the next step if they go further?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would keep it simple. I would give them like one big promise, and then that's the thing you show them on, and be like, hey, and here's the other benefits of it as well. Right, here's how I use this to buy this asset, then this asset created this, and now, ongoing, so forth and so on.
All right, I got it.
Yeah. So that's what I would do, bro. How you feel?
I feel real good.
Yep.
I feel real good. Now, I got a lot of work. I got to do today in the midst of my client appointments I have to do. I got to go back and I got to go get all that stuff rechanged and redone, like, really quick, because success loves speed. So I got to get it done really fast.
Well, so,
and I will.
Perfect. So walking away, what would you say big action step coming out of here?
I'm gonna redo my website for the masterclass. Put the right images on there. Take the video down. Put the right messaging on there. And then create some social media content around that as well to get more people onto the masterclass, and then rinse and repeat. I think that's going to be one of the things that's going to help with the messaging, and then look to further develop the messaging to support the CVB method. Saying what it is without saying what it really is. Yep. So that's what I'm gonna work on now, and get better in that area to kind of make sure that the messaging aligns with where my heart is.
100%. Perfect. So when people come on to the offer, I just want to get clear. When they come onto the masterclass, are you selling them something right there? Or are you sending them to a book call? Like, what's the model on the back end?
I'm selling them. So for them to have a call with me and the team.
Okay, and how much is the offer?
And to promote. That's a free call, a free session rather. And that typically, if you book that session, the like that strategy call is like a strategy call session that I give for them to see if there's something that they can use and implement in their lives. And that strategy call that I would charge if you did it individually is $995. So they get a $995 free strategy call for booking after the masterclass. That's the offer.
Cool. And then what's the offer? When they get on the phone call, what are you selling them into?
To see if they qualify, if they are a candidate to start their cash value bank.
Okay, gotcha. And then you sell them the policy and so forth.
Yeah, help them to put it together and design it right.
Excellent. I love it. So yeah, so let's go implement that. Let me know if you got any questions along the way. And man, listen, if you want, let's talk about how we can just work together and we can just help you implement it all as well and make you get this thing super dialed in.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I said, if you want, let's have a conversation about how we can potentially work together, and we just help you implement the whole thing, so we can really help you get it dialed in quickly.
Let's talk offline about that. I'll be interested.
Okay, let's do it. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yo, thank you for having me, man.
For sure. So at the Strategic Scale Institute, it's designed specifically for business owners who are making $250,000 a year up to $1 million or more. We even have clients that are doing $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year who are looking to strategically scale their business without burnout, so they can actually work less hours and actually experience more profit and impact more people in a strategic, systemized way. If you want to know how we can actually work together, go to scalemadeeasy.com. Go to scalemadeeasy.com. Got a ton of free resources on that page, and you will see somewhere where you can actually click and schedule a strategic scale session so we can jump on the phone and talk about how we can potentially work together. So go to scalemadeeasy.com, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you soon. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, you want to do two things. Number one, click below this video and go ahead and subscribe so you'll be the first person to know when we release new episodes. And number two, you want to click right here so you can check out the next episode. I know you're going to love that one as well. So go ahead and subscribe right now and then click right here to check out this next episode. See you in a few.